small school, big shoes, located 30 miles north of Boston. What they do in hockey would be akin to slippery rocks scrapping with the Miamis, FSUs, and Oklahomas of the football world. Every year, Merrimack, a D1 hockey program, skates against the likes of Boston College and Boston University. Last spring, the tiny school, its community, and one of its players saw the world altered forever. Tom Rinaldi explains.
There is a place between living and dying. For Joe Exter, it is a place without memory, clean, clear, like a sheet of ice.
Put it in easy terms for you, maybe it's like an earthquake went off in my head. It's a weird, crazy way to put it, but it was kind of like living through your wake.
March 7th, 2003, a postseason game between Merrimack College and Boston College. Third period, the chase for a loose puck.
Sent out ahead, out of the box is Patrick Eaves. Exter came way out. He looked like he got banged up there.
And I saw the puck going down the ice. Saw Joe come up to get the puck, and next thing you know, I saw him land on the ice, and everyone else was crowded around.
Playing goal for Merrimack, Exter was struck on the right side going for the puck and lost his helmet. The left side of his head struck the ice.
I tell you, it was dead silent in the arena. Even the players that had let out their anguish at the time of the hit, they were kind of all just mulling around.
Joe is still down on the ice, and he's not moving all that much, folks. He is not.
And I got to Coach Serino, and I just was grabbing his arm and just saying to him, he's not breathing. It didn't go through my mind that he wasn't moving. It was, to me, he wasn't breathing. I really thought he was dead.
I think that's Joe Exter's mom down there.
Yeah, you know, I don't know.
And they're going to take him off on a stretcher. And when they rolled him over to put him on the stretcher, blood just started pouring out of his ear. I mean, pouring out of his ear. Like, it must have been a 6-foot puddle of blood that you couldn't believe.
Not a pretty scene right now, and
it's got to be very serious.
I didn't know if he'd make it, if he'd live. I just thought this was it. This was it. This was it.
Exter's skull was fractured in 2 places from the hit, sparking a massive hemorrhage in his brain. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Doctors decided to place Exter into a medically induced coma to reduce the swelling in his brain. A needle drilled into his skull to drain the fluid. At the hospital, Exter's family, teammates, and coaches waited. Mark Exter, Joe's father, confined himself to the waiting room, reluctant to see his son in that condition.
In my own way, if I was preparing myself for the worst, I was saying to myself, I want to remember him how I remember him. I don't want to see him in that state.
I was so thankful to have had him in my life. I think the first couple days I was like, okay, if he's gone, you know, at least I was lucky to have him.
Before Merrimack's season, as team captain, Joe Exter handed every player 2 tennis balls, one with the word trust written on it, the other, believe. The words serving as the team's motto and mission. At the hospital, Mark Exter continuously rubbed one of those tennis balls in his hands.
It became his buddy. Every time, like, he'd just sit there and hold on to it the whole time I was in there.
The word he rubbed over and over, believe.
He wore out the lettuce. Just squeezed it every day and rubbed it. It was like his way of connecting with me.
10 days after he entered the hospital, Merrimack held a prayer service for Exter. Just hours later, he awakened for the first time. What was the first thing you saw when you came to?
My mom.
You could see eye movement a little, and I just felt, okay, he's gonna make it. I didn't know how he was gonna be after he made it, but I felt he's gonna make it. He's gonna be here.
I just wanted to hug him and say, I love you, like, you know, you're fine, but he was, you know, I don't think he even knew who I was.
It's like they didn't let me know what happened to me while I was in there. I had no clue. To be honest with you, I just thought, in the beginning, I thought I'm here for a regular checkup. This is taking a long time.
Exter had lost 30 pounds, required a feeding tube, and was unable to speak. Those conditions did not last long.
Well, once he started to recover, it was amazingly rapid. He, considering all the hemorrhage in his brain and the fractures and his state in the beginning, he started to turn the corner so rapidly when he started to come out of this coma state. It was amazing.
Just 3 weeks after the collision, Exter walked out of the hospital and into a rehabilitation center. He had a single purpose.
They used to come to me with goals for the day. Joe Exter's goals for the day. 1, take a shower. 2, eat and tuck, like I had to tuck when I swallowed. 3, like change your clothes. 4, like go to the bathroom. And these aren't Joe Exter's goals. He's gonna play hockey.
For a full recovery from his brain injury, Exter's expected stay in rehab was from late March until the beginning of August, roughly 4 months. When did he leave?
Just on the 8th day. I was there for a week.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. To get this degree of function back so rapidly with that extensive an injury, something I don't think I've ever seen. Maybe once or twice. I've had a very extensive background in this kind of thing, but Joe was one of the most amazing stories.
Oh, here we go.
On May 29th, less than 3 months after nearly losing his life, Exter skated for the first time.
I wish there were a lot of people here to see me, especially those people that supported me through all this. It just felt like it was heaven. I know it's not the heaven that I was on my way to before, but it was just like heaven on earth. That's what it felt like. It was just a place where I just felt at peace and just so comfortable. Just doing something I love and just the first little steps.
Joe Exter just finished a season in goal for the Wheeling Nailers, a Pittsburgh Penguins minor league club. He signed his contract with Wheeling Christmas Eve, 9.5 months after the injury. He plans to be in the Penguins training camp next season. What was your attitude toward his desire to play hockey again?
Still have not come to terms with that, but at first I just figured, well, if this is going to motivate him, fine.
But did you really think it would happen?
No. No. I still don't believe where we're at right now. It was just to get him back. To get him back.
There is a place between living and dying. Now, Joe Exter skates across it on fresh ice.
The thought of can't or won't be able to never crossed my mind. Even from the moment I woke up, I knew I'd be back on the ice playing.
This past Friday, Exter packed up his gear for the season and started the 600-mile drive from Wheeling, West Virginia back home to Cranston, Rhode Island. He will spend the offseason with his family and getting back to working out, getting ready for training camp with the Penguins.